Hey, Retcon Raider here. Well, here we are.
Hey, Retcon Raider.
Yeah?
Are you a robot?
Reply hazy. Ask again later.
Hi everyone, Revenant here. I'm one of Raider's oldest friends and also his tech guy. What you're seeing is a few behind-the-scenes images of Raider's archive. He's read almost all of these books, and that doesn't count what he also has in his storage room. The guy is a wealth of gaming knowledge, sometimes disturbingly so. So how does he do it? Well, he isn't joking about his dangerously high intake of energy drinks. He's not sponsored by Monster. In truth, he's probably sponsoring them. He also has a little help from his feline friends. So now that you've gotten a quick glimpse of Raider's lair, let's talk about his computer upgrade. Since Raider began recording, he's been using an old Intel i5 3570K. Now, this CPU was hot back in 2012. However, in 2019, not so much. It features a 3rd gen Ivy Bridge architecture, 4 cores with 4 threads, and a boost clock of up to 3.8 GHz. The rest of his computer? Well, it's a hodgepodge of leftover and outdated parts, most of them formerly mine. It's got 24 gigs of DDR3 RAM, SATA SSD, Toshiba hard drive, and a GeForce GTX 970, all attached to an LCD monitor that, well, quite frankly looks like something out of the 90s. Seriously, the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, had better viewing angles than this thing. So what do we get to replace it? These are the parts we chose for Raider's build. Raider spent months saving money and buying them when they were on sale. Not a single Patreon dollar was wasted. For the CPU, we went with an Intel i9 9900K. Now, this is just about the fastest gaming CPU you can get today, and it works really well for Adobe Premiere work. It has a single core turbo speed of 5 GHz and an all-core turbo of 4.7 GHz, which is a major boost from its previous processor. Plus, it has something Raider uses a lot during encoding, a built-in QuickSync iGPU. This gives Adobe Premiere a big boost in his particular workload. For the GPU, we went with the RTX 2070 Super. The Gigabyte WindForce model here shuts its fans off under 50 degrees Celsius and boosts up to 1950 MHz under gaming load. This puts it in the realm of RTX 2080s while being incredibly quiet. The RTX core gives a big boost to Raider's Adobe work and allows him to play with the latest ray tracing tech. Since he games at 1080p on a 120Hz monitor, using a balanced card like the 2070 Super allowed us to put more money elsewhere into the system where it could be used for his other workloads or improving reliability. For the main board, we went with Form over Flash and selected the Gigabyte Aorus Pro Wi-Fi. It uses the Intel Z390 chipset and supports dual M2 NVMe drives. It has Intel LAN and Intel Wireless, plus the latest USB ports. More importantly though, it has a very good VRM setup. The VRMs are a 6-phase, double to 12, with an additional phase for the integrated GPU. The heatsinks are some of the larger ones that will help keep the system stable during encoding, rendering, and, well, long gaming sessions. For the RAM, we went with the tried, tested, and awesome-looking G-Skill Trident Z. 2 sticks of DDR4 3200 in dual-channel mode for a total of 32 gigs of RAM. This will be a major boost over Raider's previous setup of 24 gigs of DDR3 1600. Raider's SSD is a 2TB Corsair MP510 NVMe. It uses the powerful but inexpensive Phison E12 controller. Read speeds are around 3,500 megabytes per second, and write about 2,700 megabytes per second. This makes it 7 times faster than his old drive. Raider's SSD is backed up by 2 Toshiba X300 5TB hard drives. They spin at 7,200 RPM, have 128 megs of cache, and should provide plenty of bulk storage for video editing, Steam drives, or anything else he wants to put on the system. Last but certainly not least, Raider's computer will use the Corsair RM850X power supply. This is one of the best reviewed and tested power supplies on the market, and includes hybrid fan technology to help reduce noise. It uses premium parts for high reliability and is more than powerful enough for his entire system. Let's first start with a little 3D Mark benchmarking. Raider's system passed with 100% stability and posted Time Spy scores of 10,106. This puts him in the top 10% of all computers benchmarked, and that's without even overclocking. Moving on to Battlefield 5, Raider's system was able to pump out a locked 60 frames per second Ultra settings at 1080p with ray tracing set to Ultra. And wow, does that ray tracing look good. I wasn't really any help to my team because I was just too busy looking at these awesome glossy reflections. I mean, just look at the way the windows reflect in the marble at real time. It's just stunning. Switching back to DirectX 11, his new computer played at a locked 120 frames per second 1080p Ultra. If you haven't tried Soul Calibur 6, you need to. It runs on the Unreal Engine and is an absolute old school blast to play. The engine itself is limited to 60 frames per second, but Raider's PC had no trouble maintaining a locked 60 FPS Ultra settings at 4K resolution. Quantum Break is an older title, but one that can still bring a modern PC to its knees. It has high detailed textures, lighting effects, particles, and animation. Here, Raider's PC had no trouble playing at a locked 60 frames per second, Ultra settings at 1080p. And finally, here's XCOM 2. Raider did a great series for this game, and it's worth watching and playing. XCOM 2 is a very, very different usage of the Unreal Engine compared to Soul Calibur. The footage here is running at a 1080p Ultra settings with MSAA set to 4 times, and it ran really, really well, even if my tactics kind of weren't very good. I mean, this Overwatch ambush, it didn't really work out for me. So yeah, I'm definitely not Raider here. He's way better at this than I am. So, to sum it up, compared to his old system, Raider's PC now has a CPU with twice the cores, 4 times the threads. He has twice the memory bandwidth, an SSD that's 7 times faster, 4 times bigger, and double the hard drive space. He also has a GPU that can be up to 300% faster than his old one, while running nearly silently. While we didn't really show it, we also upgraded Raider to a new G-Sync monitor running at 120Hz at 1080p. Well, I guess I should give Raider back his channel now before he realizes I actually recorded him. Let me turn it over to him.
Whoa, what was that? You know what? I'd better keep Rev away from my account from now on. Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who's helped support the channel, especially the Raiders, both past and present. You folks are the reason that I've made it this far, and I just can't thank you enough. What I can do is promise that I'll put this new computer to good use, making even more videos that you'll hopefully enjoy. That said, this is Retcon Raider, signing off. Thanks for listening. Oh, and remember, if you need to contact me for any reason, just leave a comment on any of my videos. Or you can reach me through my Facebook page, my Patreon account, my Twitter feed, or my official email address. As always, links are in the description.